All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It is January 24th. We got another chart talk coming at you live during market hours. We got 42 minutes till the close, but we said F it, and we're coming at you live right now. Without further ado, let's get right into the market outlook. So the most stared at trend line in the history of the world is it's still taking shape. So jobs report a couple weeks ago, let us higher. The CPI coming in line allowed us, to continue the trend. Now we're just bucking at this trend line right here. Huge resistance, battle between buyers and sellers. I will say from a technical analysis standpoint, this is the best shot it's ever had at breaking the trend line. And it's no secret, lower low, touch the trend line, lower low, touch the trend line, lower low, touch the trend line, higher low, makes a base and starts to attack the trend line. Starts turning bad news into good news. Everything you want to see about, a change of trend happening. But, the thing that has me worried is I hear a lot of cheering out of bulls, and we're still at SPY 400. The 410 is the huge resistance. That's where it's really, really the test. So, I'm waiting to see these earnings. It's all going to come down to these earnings. We got the first big name kicking off tonight with Microsoft. And it's going to be, a glimpse into tech. We're seeing a ton of tech firings. Pretty much the only company that hasn't done it is Apple. And instead of doing the firings, the CEO took a $50 million pay cut. So that's pretty boss. But it's funny because the Google CEO, my buddy works at Google, and he's like, yeah, it's really nice to see that, like, he took responsibility. He came out in the beginning of a town hall. It's like he took responsibility for, the company not being where it needs to be. It's like he just laid off 12,000 people. That guy's collecting $40-50 million this year. How great is the guy? Is he? Gonna cut a couple M's off himself. Regardless. So this trend line's getting me a little nervous just because anecdotally, it's like, we're seeing calls go through the roof. People are starting to chase. People are starting to get comfortable with longs. That just has me a little nervous. And this earnings season is supposed to be the one where we see this recession take place. We're supposed to see, the interest rates and exchange rates and all the typical headlines we've been hearing about. We're supposed to see them take shape in these earnings reports. So this Microsoft report tonight becomes very important for the market going forward, as will the rest of the big tech names that we hear from in the following days and weeks. And just this earnings season in general, I maintain that we're either going to see a fast move to 430 or fast move to 370 very soon. And it's all on the back of these earnings. We don't have the Fed for another week. We got Fed next Wednesday. That'll be interesting. But, other than that, it's all about this trend line, and it's just a battle between buyers and sellers over here. What are you thinking over there, Mr. Ben?
All right, let me pull up a couple.
Let me stop share. Stop the share. What's that?
Yeah. What's up, baby? So you kind of touched upon enough of the SPY, so I'll go over a couple of sectors worth reviewing. So again, first up, we got 10-year continue to put in these lower highs, like we're seeing the market and the short are putting in those, higher lows, which is a good sign. Good sign to see.
Lock in your mortgage. I like that.
Yeah, well, that's again, this is like more when we get back to 2.5. That's obviously the goal. So that's a good sign to see these lower highs. We see continue to roll over. Even today, great sign. Telecom, the weakest sector of all of 2022, finally started to break out of this base. A little pull in and finally broke out of this. Out of this major breakdown stage it's been in, which is a good sign to see from kind of the biggest laggard of last year. And then you have the REIT sector starting to flag here, looking for that move through this base, for Vanguard REIT ETF, looking to buy it through that 90, and also looking at the utilities, a little support buyback starting to kind of trigger today off of support that eventually move back towards its 52-week highs or all-time highs for the utility sector. So some sectors that are setting up, not necessarily the most exciting sectors. You got telecom, REITs, and utilities, but they are still safe.
You want to type up SOXX?
SOXX.
So semiconductors. Semiconductors are up 18% this year already. If you look at NVIDIA, AMD, like all these guys are on a fucking tear. Right. The up arrow won that battle.
Yeah, right here. It's a little flat.
Right. And what's funny is like that was right before the jobs report, that NVIDIA where you were looking at, and we were looking at it short. and I was short going into it, and then I left a buy stop at the previous day's highs, so it was like the sickest entry from. You see the day it ignites at the bottom, what it's still in. Nope, the one before it. That one,
This
yeah,
right
the green
here.
one right there. So I had a buy stop by accident above, right there, right there, and I got triggered in the trade. I had a decent size, and I was like, "Shit, I didn't mean this." And I was just talking about a member in the trade review. I was like, "I didn't mean this," but listen, it triggered on me short. It it like faked me out with a short, sucked me in, immediately ripped back higher in my face, kind of a screw bar with the way it opened at support. And I was like, you know what? I didn't game plan it. So let me just get out here. But when really I should have just taken the trade. It was a great setup. And then look what happens, who needs 40, 50%? Not me, I guess.
Yeah. I think that was like reminds me a lot of like the properties when we'd have those, you would short, it wouldn't work, and you'd have like the cover that would flip you back long.
Right,
And just
right,
because you were
right.
just wrong and it's try it the other way.
Yeah, but I mean this one.
Yeah. I'll go over a couple quick trades since I already have the screen up. Really like this DOX,
Oh
super
yeah.
tight, two inside days here. There's 91 versus 90, dollar risk here. Very strong looking name, bluish sky breakout. Does have earnings on, what is that? The 31st. So you only have about a week. So this would be much more of a quicker trade. Probably that little quick move into this retest here and then get out before earnings. But again, just very tight, dollar risk. ALNY through 240 in time. Again, kind of rolling over today. So probably not going to go this week, but one to keep on the radar. And then lastly, this INSP earnings is on the 7th. So another week or two, this does want to go. If not, more likely just flag out until earnings. And then a couple trades from last week. In the most notable one, and just kind of these reminders of just taking the ones when you have them. We did a very good job with this court trade. And after we got out of it, or at least when I got out of it, and SMers also took it with me this day, it did trade a little bit higher the next 3 days, another dollar or so higher. But then you got, today just negates more than half of that move. So just being reminded to take these profits when we're given them and not being too greedy with them. This AMLX is just off to the races. So that's really it on my end. Again, just keep an eye on that DOX. And
Yeah. Wait, so you're in that AMLX? Sorry, I missed that.
no, I'm not in it. I was in it.
Okay, they had some good drug news today. I don't know what it was, but stock
Yeah,
is raging.
I got that stuff down here
The
and just
shake and
forgot about
bake.
it. Yeah. I'm selling this Adobe working. That's all right. Just have a parallel day stop in this one.
Yeah. And then that's similar to that INTU, that trade of the week. I got that one from Neil. Looks so good. Or
INTU.
not great today, but I mean, nice igniting bar. Turn that 400 in support.
Yeah. So I actually took this one last week.
First time I remember when it
Yeah,
rejected,
it was
but
both
you
of them. It
stayed
was
in, right?
no, I got checking out. It was this and AMLX was like the same day. I got into them both, and they both basically failed day one. And then I got the alert went off. Yeah, yes. What is it? 2 days
Brutal
ago.
how, yeah, it closed right at the
That's
level.
yeah. It was on Friday. I closed. Yeah, Friday I closed at the level. And I was like, I'm not buying this thing back. 20 points off, but yeah, looks good. But back to you, my friend.
Okay, I got a few I'll go over. Screen two. What was I looking at? All right, so this ARRY. So obviously a nice little flag we got going. Is it? All right. Clearly a nice little flag there. Can we guess the sector that this ARRY is in?
Yes, for me.
It's semiconductor. These names are
Well,
showing us they want to rip.
love you
These
love these
names are showing
semis.
us they want to rip. It's like, that's where you got to lead. So I mean, this is a huge growth name, one of the great EPS growth names. And it's just setting up really nicely underneath this 2460 area. So definitely keep that one on watch. I'd love a few more days of sideways. That would make the setup really good. I haven't been trading a lot because let's not forget, it's like, it's the beginning of earnings season, and we have all these. This is like the next few weeks. All these names are reporting earnings. So this is like historically a quiet period for us, where there's just not much going on. Names are waiting around for earnings, and we're chopping back and forth. It's like kind of a don't lose money time because there's so much opportunity coming our way. So I digress. I like that ARRY. This MTGL. I think this is Kush called this out. I don't know. I had this on a watch list. So it looks really good for further gains. This is just straight momentum though. It's not my favorite when these names, rip as much as they do. The monthly is like name was up 314% in the last month.
Mhm.
But these names do catch momentum and they continue the trend. So watching that one through highs at 316. This PFGC, super thin name, but really nice chart forming, turning this long-term resistance and support here. Trying to create this upper level flag here. May look for an entry through the 60-25 area. Just looks pretty good here. And I won't realistically buy this, but this gave a nice entry today. I mean, early in the week, we were looking instead of buying the monster breakout through 104. Why not buy it off support at the beginning of the week? And I know a bunch of members did, and they're getting paid today, and that was a really good entry. So we're seeing how much better support buys in our favorite names are than the pure breakout play where you need to work right now. That's really it. All eyes on these Microsoft earnings. You know, all eyes on the earnings, and that's really going to dictate where this market goes. And then we got Jerome Powell next Wednesday. The never-ending news cycle, economic trading continues. Cannot wait till we're past this. But that's really all I got on my end. Anything else on you?
That's it, man. Short and sweet.
Sweet.
All right.
Well, without further ado, let me get out of here. I got to go to New York already. All right. We'll catch you guys next week. Like, subscribe. Any questions in the comments? What do you want to hear from us? You tell us. So, and with that, see you guys later.